you in the comments so I can know you can hear me. Hit the like button. Okay, welcome, MD. Can you hear me? You in the comments
Yeah,
so I
I
can know
hear
you
you
can.
clearly.
Okay, great, amazing. Good evening. Okay, I can see a returner. Hi, hello. I can see Bulus Chaka. Welcome, everyone. Good to have you here. We're going to have an amazing session today. Welcome to this live session, Q&A with your fish. And I tell you of the truth, we are going to have a very, very amazing section. Someone says you are lagging. Can you please confirm, MD? Can you hear me clearly at the right time?
Yeah, actually, I can hear you, but truly you are lagging somehow.
Oh, okay. Let me check my net then if I can do something
Yeah,
about
it could
it.
be a network issue.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for that feedback, Erin Turner. Yeah. So, as I was saying, we are going to have an amazing time today. And the interesting part is that today's live session is not about how to rear fish. So we are not talking about how to feed, how to stock, what we do. We are not talking about water quality. We are not talking about pond management. Yeah. So it's a really interesting one. We're talking about what are the things that really make fish farming profitable? What makes the business of fish farming stable? That's what we'll be dealing with today. And our guest is here already. Let me take this time to officially welcome MD, Mr. Oluwasomi Sam Abiodun, the Managing Director of Oasis Aquarid Fisheries Limited. You're welcome, MD.
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Taiwo. It's my pleasure.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. I want to promise you all that our guest today has years of experience in building, and not only in building, he's building and he is practicing. And this is how you know if we need to bring someone about fish farming to talk about how the business really is. This is one person we really want to bring. And I want, oh, this is IBK. Good to see you, IBK. Welcome. I'm glad and delighted to have you here. Yes, and this is one person who will be so much privileged to have discussed this particular topic with us. And I want us to get our questions ready. I want us to get our questions ready. Don't sleep on it. It's really going to be an amazing session. So I straightforward into business that you get your questions ready. And I want to be setting the tone right away. I want to begin by um, asking my own question, which I'm very curious about. And I believe everyone on this call will learn from that. I mean, and get uh, do you know how big the biggest fish in the world is? All right, so we have see all of the questions today. MD will be dealing with them, and I want to let you know that, like I mentioned, we are not talking about fish farming. Any whatever question that come, I promise you, if our guests will do justice to it. But it's best to take advantage in the area of business. I mean, in the area of business of fish farming. Okay, so I want to ask my question. Let's go straight into business. Um, MD. So, I have statistics and I have about two papers here with me talking about fish farming business. Most of the fish farming business, or let me say many fish farming business that begin after a few years of operation, they don't survive it anymore. And I want to give precise, I mean, I've seen physically in real time farms that maybe operate for about 2 years and later on they fail. Let's use the right word here. I mean, we want to be realistic here. So let me give a particular example. I know for a fish farm that operates a hatchery, or let me say operated. Now, This hatchery was a standard hatchery, I could say, as the case of Nigeria is concerned. Now, the hatchery had beginning, and one of the issue was water quality parameters. And one of the biggest issue a hatchery can have is water quality parameters. Now, in the process, this farm I'm talking about was able to overcome this problem of water quality parameters. But somewhere along the line, the farm could not survive it. Somewhere around the third year or thereabouts, the farm, as I am talking, is no more in operation. And I have seen many like that. This is just an example. There are many that I know you have seen. There are many that I know that we both know that this farm was in operation, but no, it's no longer in operation. My question is, why is this so? I mean, I am particularly putting this question forward to you because you've been in this industry for years, you've been building, and you've also been in operation. What's Why is this so? Why is it that many fish farm, after years of just few years of operation, many of those farms don't survive the first 5 years? What is going on? Why is this so?
Yeah, thank you once again, Mr. Taiwo, for having me. Um, Once again, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Sam Abiodun Oluwasami. I'm the managing director of Oasis Aquarich Fisheries Limited. At the same time, I'm an accountant, and that gives me the opportunity to learn a lot of business management, which are actually applicable to any sort of you know business, including fish farming or aquaculture business. Um, yeah, you are right. In fact, if I will remember vividly, as at 2020, there was a survey that says that for every farm, for every 10 farms that were existing as at 2020, at least 7 were not existing in the last 10 years. I don't know if that is understandable.
Yeah.
So, what that means, in another word, is constantly as we are having new entrants, we are having people exiting the business as well. Yeah, the number one problem is the how will I put, okay, it is easy to enter the fish farming subsector. You know what I mean? It is very easy, not like oil and gas, that you will need a lot of money, and you need to be able to enter some places before you can even get your your gas station licensed to be operated. You know what I mean? So because it is very easier for people to enter the business, people have left the basic.
Mm.
And as a result of that, if you fail to plan, you understand, you
Mm.
plan to fail. Unfortunately, a lot of people treat aquaculture business. I don't want us to keep calling it fish farming, fish farming. Aquaculture business, they treat it like POS. Let me put it that way, as in like POS business. What do I mean? When you have your kiosk, you have your payment machine, you have your cash. You just give me money, I transfer. You understand now? It's that basic. It's that basic. And in fact, if you decide not to keep any record, your record is intact with your transaction. How much did you send out? How much did you receive? So that's how people treat fish farming. I appreciate Pisces are fair. as a company for coming up with it, because these are the things that we need to start telling ourselves. It's not every time we'll be talking about ammonia, dissolved oxygen, because these are basics. They are very important, but they are, So go back to your question, because it's easy for people to just go at the backyard, to just go to their backyard when water is flowing, or they have, borehole. They just put down some containers or dig ponds and start rearing fish. That is the problem. So for everything, just take it like any other complex business. Please take the word complex. I will start mentioning. You want to start running a gas station, that is petrol station. You want to go into production of household needs, like baby diaper. You want to go into production of drinks, like Coca-Cola and everything. You see, the needs, the business needs, the business management strategies using in running all this company, you need it to run your fish farm successfully. So what are your statistics? What led to it is very simple. It's very easy for people to enter the business, and as a result of that, they take it that way, like get their juvenile fish seedlings, put it in the pond, buy feed it, and they believe that's all. That is where the problem is. And by the time they do it that way, they sell for the first time, they could not recover the capital. They try again, they recover the capital and gain and have about 10% profit. They say, okay, let me try again. They now go bigger. They go bigger from 2 tons, from production of 2 tons, because they have 20% profit for the last one they did. They get money here and there and go to 5 tons. And before you see it, they at the point they are selling, they sold and they discover that they are not making profit. Of course, you can't stay in a business where profit is not guaranteed. No, it's that you are doing business. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? You can't stay there. So by the time they try that, not to talk of management's, biotechnical aspect of it. In fact, if you have your farm planned well, in your business management, in your business strategy, the biotechnical as I'm sure we have done a lot of feasibility reports together in the past. There's an aspect called biotechnical aspect. A complete business plan, a complete business management plan in fish farming will have a biotechnical aspect. So if it is not well prepared as well, there's going to be a big problem. For instance, you have 20 million naira. Let's just take, for instance, you want to start fish farming, and you've used about 10 million naira building houses, building gates, doing all this office, equipping your office, painting, and these are sinking pond. Remain 10 million naira. You have not dug your pond, you have not buy feed, you have not, all those stuff. So by the time, let's now assume that you borrowed the money and you've used 10 million naira in doing what we call non-production expenses. So before you see it, the people that the interest will be, maybe they give you a moratorium of 6 months. So it means that you have not even produced before you begin to pay interest. So from the remaining 10 million naira that you have in bank, you have started paying interest. Because if you have the money right from the day one, you won't go and borrow. So before you finish digging a pond, every other thing, your first production, what you turn out is not even enough to pay your debt. People will pack out. I don't know if you so
Very
those
well.
are the problems. Your business plan should be very strategic to the extent that it gives room. For whatever the unforeseen circumstances, you understand, you plan for it. So majorly, to answer your question, your statistic is right. So the major issue is just because people don't plan. They take fish business as just, buy and sell, like someone that just selling pure water, which doesn't require much business skills. You know what I mean? So, and because of that, there is no strong plan and strategic. They do not make strategic decision right from the inception of the business itself. And I'm unfortunately, I don't want to be a prophet of doom. If this kind of discussion is not, being in, circulation, people being informed and the likes, that's how it's going to continue. I sometimes ago I put on ChatGPT that the fish farm that are for sales or lease in Osun State. Come and see the list. If you are running your
Really?
farm, yeah, if you are running your farm and you are making profit, you won't lease it out or you won't sell it. Do you understand now? So in your business management plan, that is when you work on the feed that you are going to be using. You make a decision. Am I going to be producing feed? Am I going to buy? Both are good. People are like, if I produce my feed, I will make profit. Correct, but you can still produce your feed and lose. Both are good. You can. So when you make your decision, I want to make my feed, I want to be buying. There are a lot of factors that will determine which of these decisions you are going to stick to at the end of the day. If you say you are going to be making your feed, do you have the technical know-how of coming up with a good formulation? If you have the technical know-how, do you have the money that will get you those machines that will process your feed properly? Because you can have a very good formulation, and when you don't produce it well, when it doesn't go through the normal process, your feed will not come out well and it won't work for your fish. So it is then that you would say in your business management plan that you decide which feed, you want to buy feed, you want to produce yourself. It is then you start talking about what's the capacity I'm starting with, and how am I going to scale. So it is then you talk about recruitment. So Mr. Taiwo has been at the center of our recruitment in the Oasis Aqua Fisheries over the time. And I can tell you that the strategy and the system using in recruiting our staff has been very, very effective. Because you can't do it all. Let's assume you want to give it your 100% time. You still need people. It is that you will decide that, okay, from this capacity now, I can manage it myself. Imagine just 2 ponds or 3 ponds having capacity of 1 ton or 1.5 tons or 2 tons per cycle. You can decide, maybe you with your family, or your wife or your husband, you can manage that. However, you still need people. These people you need, you don't need to employ them. They can be casual worker that will come to your farm, they work, you give them the money per day, the wages, and they go. So the normal daily routine activities, you continue it, you keep doing it yourself. But when you need people, like you want to harvest, you want to wash pond, you want to do some stuff that require, physical stuff, you can easily call on these people. They will work with you and you give them their money and they will go. So not to overflog the stuffs, there are so many things you need to consider. We have not talked about the we have talked about recruitment. Some people will just get people, maybe a family, and say you keep doing this, you keep doing that. No, you should recruit people to your fish farm the way they will recruit you to a bank. There should be a normal recruitment process. There should be onboarding process. There should be, no matter how small, this thing you can do it either yourself or consulting people that can do it for you at a reasonable. You are not losing money if you are paying for all this, honestly. Like myself, if from our experience, I will still use me and Mr. Taiwo as an example. We've seen a lot of people that when you are interviewing them, they are very good technically. They give you what you want to hear. Technically, they are very good. When you ask questions, they know almost everything. But when they get to your work, their behavioral attitude, their attitude towards work will not make them to be able to stay. Though they are good, they will do what you want them to do. But imagine someone that just wake up one day and decide that it's not going to work. You understand what I'm trying to say? So there are ways that the expert knows how to, everything is about chance. Nobody is saying 100% this thing. But there are some measures that people that knows how to do this will put in place. So they'll be able to select best hand for you. And if it's what you can do for yourself, why not? Just make sure that whoever that is coming to your farm to work will not just work casually, informally, not just come casually or informally. Let them go through the process of proper and formal recruitment. These are the basic things. We have not started talking about the running of the farm. These are the basic things that people are neglecting. You know what that people are neglecting, and that is causing the problem that you actually mentioned. Yeah, those are the major issue. We have not talked about marketing. I can't just imagine how I would believe that once I produce, I will sell. I don't understand that concept. That I saw them selling. I passed through a farm the other time. I saw these women coming with their bag. They are fighting. Yes, you might see them fighting for fish, but it doesn't mean that they will fight for your fish. So that's another thing entirely. It's not that these are the little things farmers are not doing. I'm not trying to condemn anyone, but these are the challenges that we need to live up to. You want to produce as small as 3 to 5 tons per cycle. And when I ask you, where do you want to sell to? All you can tell me is there are these people that buy here and there. I see them here, and that's all you can tell me. Let me shock you. Your fish will be ready. You will call them. They will not come. Or even if they want to come, they are the one that will give you price. That is, they are the one that will tell you. They are the one that will tell you what they want. I'm hearing myself.
I can hear you clearly from my hand here.
Okay. But I
Please, in the
think
chat, let's know. Sorry to interrupt you. In the chat, let's know if you can hear well. So let's keep engaging. I can see other people joining us. We for those of us who are just joining, we are talking about fish farming as a business. And Hemdi right here has been setting the tone to give us insights as to why many fish farming business fail. That's what we've been looking at within the last few minutes, because statistics show, and he corroborated that with his experience too, that many fish farms fail just at the inception after a few years of operation. I gave an example while I put the question forward. Meanwhile, let your questions start coming in. Hit the like button, subscribe. Of course, you want to share this link with others that you think they would enjoy this, and I know they will thank you. So what we are talking about is reasons why fish farming business fail after the first few years. And just before you join us, for those of us who just joined, MD mentioned that it's easy to enter. The entry point easy. We don't need licensing like some other businesses like gas stations and the likes. And that's one of the things. And he has been explaining through. One of it is where he is now on marketing, the market approach. On this point, I want to yield again for you to continue. And since we are not having anything negative, I think we are good. We can hear you clearly.
thank you very much. So, as I was saying, I asked you, where are you planning to sell your fish to? And you started pointing on the women, on those fishmongers.
Mm.
But when I asked you again, do you have any relationship with these people? You said no. Okay, you can easily get their number. So when your fish is ready, you call them. For the fact that you have not, these people, the fishmongers, I think that's another thing entirely. Honestly, we cannot just start talking about them. So, but what I'm trying to say is just make sure that you have a strong business plan, no matter how small you are starting. Have a strong business plan. It doesn't take you much. All you need is an advice. Do your research, ask questions, find good platform, and you have your plan before you even start. So I believe you won't have much problem. So not to because I believe we have taken some other questions. So let me just pause at that point. Thank you very much.
Wow, this is so insightful. Honestly speaking, these are the real discussions we should be making, truly. These are the discussions. Because imagine this kind of discussions is not limited to those of us in this room. I heard someone says there's an audio feedback.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's an audio feedback. I hope it's not from my end. Let me see. Okay, it's not from my end.
So I don't know what's happening. I can hear myself back.
Oh, okay. Meanwhile, I can't hear. Okay. All right. Let's hope it gets better. Please let your questions keep coming in. Let your questions keep coming in. Because we want to be sure that we're also addressing real issues that are in the minds of farmers. So I was saying, just imagine this is not only within the confine of those of us here, and that's the end goal. It should not be within the confine of those of us here. Many farmers, as much as possible, should be able to be engaged in conversations like this. Many things that MDA have said, I'm learning myself. I mean, I'm taking notes. From entry points. That's the reason, basically. It's not a business that you really need much licensing and all of that, but a lot is hidden in planning and management. A lot is hidden in it. A lot is hidden in it. If the plannings are not done well, and the planning now is not only limited to how to farm the fish, how do we plan to sustain the business? So as we expect more questions, MD, okay, now we have a question. So someone says, I would have wanted to put a question, but I can bring that in later. So I want us to treat question from the audience. We have a question from Junior Disable 4490. She says, if you had to build a farming business from zero again today, what would be your first 3 steps in the first 30 days? This person is so precise and intentional. So over to you, MD. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you very much.
I'm still,
I'm
there
still,
are still audio
yeah, I
clip.
see audio
I
clip.
can hear
I
myself.
can hear myself.
If there's any settings over there.
So I'm trying to mute myself now so you can have the floor.
Okay, it's
Okay.
yeah. So thank you very much for that question. If I should start a fish farming business today, the 3 things I would do for the next 30 days is: number one, I have to be, highly convinced that I need to start it. What do I mean? I don't want to do it because people are doing it. I don't want to do it because I perceive that it is profitable. I don't want to do it because I have one money that I'm not using somewhere. So I have to be convinced that I want to do it. So now that's just preamble. So the first thing I would do is to organize my market where I'm selling to. We can sell to various. There are many marketing strategies to sell your fish. So I will first organize my market. Don't forget, when I say I will organize my market, it might be the existing marketing style being used by some people already. Yeah. People are selling to fishmongers. I can decide that it's fishmonger I want to sell to too. So it means that I'm entering the same market that my co-farmers in my area are selling to. So that will give me those that have advantage and disadvantage. But I will make sure that I do my SWOT analysis very well. So my market is the first thing I will organize. It might be the one that I develop myself, or I want to, key in to the existing one. Then number two is I will have my good business plan on ground. Okay, how much am I investing? This amount of money I'm investing, with the available information I have, how much can it produce? So when you are establishing your fish farm, you have 3 basic sections in your fish farm. Let me put it that way. You have about technical section. That's where we are talking about your ponds and the likes. You have administrative section. That's where you run. That's the heart of your business, where you make decision, where you run your business. And there is, another section, maybe we can call it external stuffs. That is, where when you want to discharge your water, you need to plan for it. How to just make sure that you practice responsibly, because it's very important. So now I've organized my market. Second one, I've developed my business plan. In my business plan, I've known the quantity I'm starting with. I've planned when I'm selling for the first time. there is production system. There is what we call production system. That is, how often do you want to be producing? Is it serial production? Is it that? Then which one are you going to be producing? Is it for smoking? No. So that will, entails in business plan. And another one, which is the last one, all this one will take me maybe, if I've prepared my mind, can take me just 2 to 3 weeks. It's just about, giving it all the time it requires. The last one will now be to conduct feasibility reports on the sites I'm proposing to use. It is in the feasibility report you will understand that the land is suitable for fish farming, the water is suitable for fish farming, the security is intact, it is easily accessible. It is then that you will determine the kind of feed you want to be using. It is your feasibility report that will determine how vulnerable is your proposed farm to the flood. It is a feasibility report that will give you what we call cost benefit analysis of what you want to do. So once I get the feasibility report intact, I have my business plan, which is more of administrative decisions. I have my feasibility report, which should be conducted by an aquaculture expert. I have my marketing intact, my marketing plan intact. I can do that. Anyone that has, some people are born marketers. They know how to seek information, how to talk to people and the likes, and they are strategic in, making things happen, creating a kind of urge for people to, imprinting brand in people's mind. Some people are good in doing that. So once I get that 3 things ready, I'm good to go. Those are the 3 things: my markets, my business plan, and feasibility study, which will eventually lead to feasibility reports. Those are the 3 first things that I will do. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Okay, I'm
We
back.
lost you.
Yeah, I'm back. So I think you have a green screen now.
What's
And
happening?
what's happening? Yeah, you're back. Oh, okay. All right. My sincere apologies for that network glitch. Okay, so thank you so much, MD, for doing justice to that question. And okay, I already see the feedback from the person who asked the question, Junior and Disabled. She says, understood, sir. Thank you. Wow, thank you. Connect to bigger markets beyond their local area. Okay, how can small farmers connect to bigger markets beyond their local area? That's actually another question. But before you go there, and because I'm aware it's already tilting towards markets now, and that's like another section entirely. But I'm so happy that Junior Disabled asked this question. because while you were answering it, I had a question to answer to ask, you know, as regard that. Now, the question is, if you are just joining us, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and if you would share this link with others, we would really appreciate that, especially farmers that need this kind of information that we are sharing here. So my question, MD, you're talking about planning, feasibility. So I gave an example earlier of a real farm, and I gave a archery as an instance that's had challenges. And even after they conquered the serious challenge they had, things were going well. They were producing and making raking millions in. But somewhere along the line, I think about the third year, the business failed. It didn't survive it. It didn't survive the first 5 years. Not up to that at all. Now, this particular business I'm talking about did a feasibility study and had a feasibility report. By privilege, I'm able to know that that feasibility report came with things like cost benefit ratio that you just mentioned and some other important things that we look at. Now, in this kind of scenario, what is going wrong when some of the things you have mentioned were done? There were some plans that were made before the farm was established. But somewhere along the line, this issue that we are having, that farm businesses are collapsing in the first few years after operation began, still hits this business up. And as we are talking today, this farm is not in operation.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, um, I want to quickly, ask a rhetoric question as well. I believe you've visited quite a number of farms, in the last 10 years or thereabouts. How many farms, just give us the statistics from your experience, did you enter and they show you their accountant? How many farms did you enter and they show you their manager? I'm not talking of farm manager, an administrative manager that is coordinating the administrative activities of the farm. I'm not talking of farm manager that is supervising or that is responsible for the supervisors in other departments. And even you, because I believe they must have, when you enter a farm, they must have called you to come and solve a problem as a consultant. Even you, when you diagnose their problem they are having, are they not supposed to have called you before they call you? It is after when things has gone beyond repair that they begin to look here and there. And I can tell you for fact, it might not be, repairable. It might not be something that you'll be able to, recover. It might be something that you have to, we call it refurbish, or you start from the scratch again. So the point I'm trying to make is, when we conduct feasibility reports, we don't know whether they have business plan. Feasibility report and business plan are not the same thing. They are different. And it is being prepared by different people, by different experts. Feasibility report should be conducted by aquaculture experts that will tell you that even though currently this site is suitable, but from the information I gathered, in the next 10 years, this water will go bad. In the next 10 years, what do we call settlements? People will begin to build houses around this your farm, which will put your farm in problem. So that's the work of an aquaculture expert. He will tell you all that. He will advise you on whether to start buying feed or whether to set up your own. And I can tell you that if you are supposed to be buying feed and you set up your feed mill, you feed before you start. Honestly, because I can't just imagine how you want to start making your feed for a production that is less than 5 tons. So now they may have all these things grant, what we call business plan, feasibility report, and the likes. It's just a paper. It's just some facts, an idea written down on a paper. It needs to be executed. If they don't execute it, there won't be a magic. So that is where the issue is. The company you are talking about, they have water problem. They got it solved. But after a while, when they started making money, when everyone would expect that they should be able to, continue, the company folded up. Of course, it's a management problem. In fact, that will not be a technical problem anymore. And I don't want to preempt you. If I know the company you are talking about, they got it wrong right from the inception because they spent millions of naira, millions of naira in getting the building, give a good face up to the building, attracting people that this is what we are doing here. We have a feed me, we have all this. No, 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 no. If they cannot do that to any other business, let them not do it to fish farming business or aquaculture business. So it's as simple as that. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Farmers, this is real business going here. This is real business discussion, and this is what we should be talking about, really. See, if you know anyone who is into farming, who will be into farming, who will be an investor, they should be engaged in this conversation. And thank you for engagement. If you are still with us, keep engaging. I can see Mr. Olalekan Akpani Shile. He says depth. I mean, another person says, hey, see mistakes. Yes, honestly speaking, there are a lot of mistakes in this, and Andy has just hit the nail on the head. That's what this is about, honestly. So everything is centered around planning. And even after planning is done, how well is the administrative structure? It says a lot about fish farming business. I mean, fish farming is different from fish farming business. There are a lot of people who already know how to farm this fish that we are talking about, but only very few know how to do farming as a business. And what are the things that makes these differences? These are the things: administrative structure, of course, planning. You will see that most of the things that MD has been talking about in this session centers around planning. And then another thing added to the list is administrative structure. Okay, it started by showing us one of the reasons many of these fish farming business fail. One of it is that it has easy entry points. You don't need a licensing and all of that gas stations and all of these big companies need. Anybody can just feel like, let me start small, and it's good. It's a good one. But then there are things that need to be done the right way if you must ensure that this fish farming business will be stable and it will be sustainable. What do we mean by stability and sustainability? It's not something we'll start and stop within the next 2, 3 to 5 years. No, we want it beyond this period. We want it something that is really sustainable. And when we say sustainable, we are talking about economic value. We are making money from it year in, year out. It's not a fluke that you just make profit today. In the next 2, 3, 4 cycles, you don't make profit, or you hardly broke even. And then after the next 6 season production cycle, you made a profit. And after that, the graph comes lower again. No, that's not business. That's not a sustainable business. And no one stays long in that kind of environment. Okay. Um, Thank you, everyone who is engaging. Let's keep your questions coming, and we won't go back and continue to the questions right now. we have a question. We are having questions on the lineup, and I want us to keep them coming. So we're going to the next one right now. Someone says, how can small farmers connect to bigger markets beyond their local area? If you get that question, you have the floor now, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, that's a good question. There are many ways you can decide to connect with a bigger market outside your, locality or outside the area of your production. But there are some what I would call caveats in that. And I will quickly paint a scenario. Let's assume I'm a farmer in a community where the other farmers are producing 1 to 1.5 kilogram. They are producing 1 to 1.5 kilogram. And anytime they want to sell, they call the fishmongers, and those people they come to buy their fish. But due to one reason or the other, I feel like I don't like this system of selling. I want to connect to a bigger market. So the bigger market in quotes now, and there are some questions that will come from this angle. One, if the person say is a small farmer, why are you looking for bigger markets outside your locality? That is number one, rhetoric question. That is the reason why I said that is, if you want to look for bigger market, that is the market that you don't want to sell in your environment, you want to sell it out. Maybe you must have some reasons behind that. Is it that you want to sell at more quantity than what your market can absorb? Is it that you want to sell at a premium price that will give you better return? Is it that the size you are planning to produce is not acceptable in your area? Or is it that the species you are cultivating or you are culturing is not acceptable in your area? So for one of all these things must have played in before you decide that I don't want this local market. So now let us assume that for placing, I want to connect to it. I'm just trying to lay a foundation of I want to now, play with a bigger market. There are ways you can collaborate, you can partner with people. If you see like someone smoking fish, sell the fish to abroad, or you have people abroad that you can smoke your fish, pack it, and transport. Waybill it to abroad. That will give you a premium, price, and you are not at the mercy of people who buy wet weight. So you have added value to your fish. When you smoke fish properly, you do it very well, your small fish can stay 6-8 months. So if you do that and you are supplying it, gradually to people outside your community, you sell your fish and you have big money compared to where you sell at wet weight. Another thing you can do, which people are not actually doing, and our company working with Spices Affair, we have a lot of plans that we are working. We want people to understand that our cultured fish, tilapia and Clarias garipino, tilapia zela, ibili, toriochromis or whatever, and our catfish are good and can be consumed as we consume other imported fish. We have a lot of plans in sensitizing people. How many times have you entered a restaurant and they serve you catfish? Maybe you will not even ask for it because it's not common there. And you see, you can decide that, okay, I want to start approaching the restaurants. Be it fresh. You call yourself a small farmer, meaning that you don't have that big quantity that will be very, impossible for you to sell. So if you smoke it, when you smoke it, you can begin to supply these people. You can begin to supply them at start. Don't serve on credit. That is why you need to plan very well. Only do what you can. So until when you gain the trust of some of your customers, that you can begin to give some on credit, like when they said they return your money. So imagine, let's use Akure as an example. And the fact is, people want to eat this fish. Imagine you have 1 ton. Let me just say 1 ton. 1 ton of wet weight. And you want to sell at premium price. Because when you say bigger market, bigger market is kind of open stores. Bigger markets you can be in form of you sell at premium price. People need it more there. For instance, that happens in Southwest when people from East come down to come and buy fish from Southwest. They buy our fish 2.5, 3 kilogram, and people are producing basically for that purpose. There are people that won't sell, that won't produce what you can sell in Oshobo or Akure. So they sell for these people that come from East. They sell hybrid. That's hybrid, species different from carriers. They produce bigger size that the bigger market they are taking into needs, and they sell reasonably a bit above the local market price. So the point I'm trying to make is, within your community, within your area, you've decided that you don't want to be at the mercy of those mangas. You can create your market. You can create your market. It's just a matter of relationship. It's a matter of telling them to try. So you have 1 ton. It's funny. Do you know that if you sell 20 kilogram per day in your 1 ton fish, in a month you have sold 600 kilogram already? And you won't have another 1 ton until about 5 months again. I don't know if that is, So the point remains that we need to look more than the surface available markets that we all see. Seeing those people coming with their jerry can, coming with their bowls, pack 25 kilo. In fact, some of them will not even give you money instantly. They will tell you that it's after when they have sold that they will give you your money. You know what I mean? So when you are considering bigger markets, the way you can connect is by relationship with people that are into that market already, or people that can buy your fish even within the locality without selling to the traditional women that used to buy it. I don't know if that is addressed well.
This is highly valuable information for free. I mean, valuable information for free. You just gave us business, I mean, marketing idea, marketing plan. Any smart farmer can just take this right now and run with it. Yes, wisdom. I won't say so much on that, but here, this is pure, valuable, highly invaluable information actually
Thank
that you
you.
can run with. And this is the essence of this. Thank you very much, MD, for that. I have another question here that I want us to take before we begin to round up, and I want you to carefully take your time to answer. No rush. So there is this question here. Says this question is by Quote It Official. It says, based on the marketing plan, what is the best way for farmers to sell their fishes? I think you just answered that actually. But do you have anything to say regarding this?
Yeah. The best way for farmer to sell their fish is there's no rule, a rule of thumb to that. There is no, a fixed stuff to that. Let me put it that way. It depends on your area. For instance, there are some marketing plan that a growing company or a growing farm will not be able to do. And the example is you want to sell your fish by yourself to the final consumers. You know what I mean? You produce fish, you want to sell it by yourself to the final consumer, and you want people to know that is how you do your fish. Why do I say a small farmer might not be able to do that? Is you need a strategy that will put you in a place that shows that you consistently have this fish. That is, I know that if I get to a place every day, every time, I will see fish. But before you can do that, you must have been doing what we call serial production. That is, at every point in time in your farm, at every point in time, there are fish to sell. Because one thing about sales and marketing is when you are not consistent, people will not know you. No matter how good your product is, no matter how cheap or reasonable price it can come with. Once I know that I called you, you said you don't have. Because the last one I bought, I enjoy it, I like it. I call you the following day or the next week, you say you don't have. And in the midst of my friend, we were discussing one time, and I just said, I bought fish from a place, maybe a farm or outlet, one time like that. But unfortunately, at around Alagbaka, unfortunately, I've been trying to reach those people. They are just saying they don't have. And that my friend now said, don't mind them. I've tried to call them like 3 times. I swear. They said don't have. You know what? From that stage, they have forgotten you are selling fish. They don't, as in, you are not in their radar anymore. That when they want to eat fish, you are the next person to contact. They look elsewhere. These are just the retailer, the final consumers that want to buy 2 kilo, 3 kilo, that they want to eat. And don't forget, if you are consistent as well, these people are not only your niche. You have the retailers as your niche as well. And the most important thing for you when you are consistent is there are times that fish scarce. That place they go where they cheat farmers. Those farmers, they have cheated them, and some of them have gone out of the business. Or maybe during the dry season, they don't have fish. They will come to your side to buy. When they buy at good price, the only thing that will not make them to come again is when they see some other farmers to cheat again. Because you have a system in place that doesn't allow cheating of whatsoever. You have a structure, a system in place. Maybe you have designed it in such a way that buy your fish and go. There is no way for these are the smaller one, these are the bigger one. I want to pay. No. So, and you can as well use that to your advantage. During the scarcity, every retailers that are coming to your side, during the plenty, what do we call it? We call it gluts. Every retailers that come to your side, you write their names, their number down. During the scarcity, any retailer that come to buy, you check your record. Has he come when there is gluts? If he hasn't come, tell them you don't have fish or increase price. It's tit for tat. You understand? I know that Mr. Taiwo will always go elsewhere when there is glut. Though glut doesn't actually affect me because I have plan. I know when to sell much. I know when to sell less. But because I'm trying to build my customer base, Mr. Taiwo has not been buying from me when there is a lot of gluts. And Mr. Kende has been a good customer that used to come and buy from me. I'm talking about retailer now. I'm not talking about any the final consumer many times they want. So Mr. Kende has always been buying from me, whether there is glut, whether there is scarcity, and I have both of the record of both of them in my paper, in my details of both of them in my record. So during the scarcity now, both of them come. And because I won't want to sell, because a lot of people are coming, and I plan to sell 100 kilogram per day. And I say, let me sell 500 kilogram. And in the next 3, 4, 5 days, I will not see fish to sell. No, I just want to stick to that 100 kilogram per day. So now Mr. Taiwo has come, who doesn't used to buy from me. It's an opportunity for me to sell 3,000 naira per kilogram fish for him for 4,000 naira per kilogram. If he so wish, let him buy. If he doesn't want, let him go. But I will, sell for Mr. Kende, who has always been a good customer to me. I don't know if that is understandable. So if we, the marketing is just as it is in the way you think about it, based on the available factors and conditions. So there are no straight way to it. For instance, now, I can't imagine someone just say, I want to be producing 4 kilograms of fish. One, I want my one fish to enter with 4 kilograms before I sell it. And you don't have people in the East that you will sell to. I imagine someone planning to sell to Oshogo markets and now start producing such bigger fish. So it won't work. So the marketing plan or market strategy you are going to use will largely, honestly, there might not be the best way. So far, especially because we are selling all these fish mostly on fresh, as in they are fresh. They are freshly sold. It's point and kill. You understand now? So all those things need to be considered. Your market, your area, when I say your area, now it might be the place you are selling to in your brain. What do they need? How do they need it? How often do they need it? What do they pay? The means of buying it, the logistic of buying it, how did they move it? So there are a lot of, so I would just advise people, when you are discussing marketing, contact people that can give you some insight about what you are thinking in your brain. That is just it, honestly. Thank you.
Wow, such an amazing insight. Please confirm in the chat if you can hear me. So I'm certain you can hear me, or MD says something. So I'm certain I'm audible. Everyone can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. I had to confirm because of what I'm saying. Okay. I can't be exposed to this kind of teachings and fail in farm business. Never. Yeah, I like that comment. I like that comment. That comment says, that person says, I can't be exposed to this kind of teachings and fail in farm business. That's just the truth, honestly. Honestly. Yeah, thank you, MD. And before MD gave his last words, let me just try to give a quick recap, maybe for anyone who joined late or who is just joining in recently. Um, but before I even give a recap, do you see, farmers, that farming and marketing is really about planning? Do you now see that it's really about planning? And it's about observation. And then they mentioned something in, you know, while answering the last question. he mentioned something about checking your record to see your regular customer, to see your regular customer, to see your loyal customer. Farmers, do you see that business is not emotional? Do you see? Are you see? This is someone who has been building, not only building, who has been operating business consecutively. So these are the kind of real conversations we need to have, because how are they doing it? There is a way that leads to the city. If one plus one, if you plus one, it will always give you two. It is when we don't do the right thing that we will not get the results. But as long as you apply the right knowledge, you will always get the right results. It's just like there are laws, there are principles. Things of this kingdom, they answer to laws, they answer to principle. And it's also true in fish farming business. It's just like the law of gravity. Whatever we throw up comes down. Is the law of gravity. These laws, these principles, they also exist in the business of fish farming. And what are they? These are the things. You see, he mentioned record keeping. How will you check somebody's, if somebody is your loyal customer or your regular customer, if you don't have a record for them? It means you can't really, use that idea there if you don't have a good record. So we began by talking about real business plan management. That's one of the biggest things any farmer should take from this session today, because a lot centers around that business plan. So even when you have a business plan and you execute and things are going well, there are things that solidifies them, that makes, because we are talking about stability here. A business, a fish farming business, will not be sustainable without a good structure. And I'm just paraphrasing some of the things, many things that MD has said to us here today. All right. Um, Hardly will you see any fish farm have an accountant. These are structures that need to be put in place, and these are realities. Are we really just farming, or we are doing farming business? If we are doing farming business, we should accord it the same right business principles that other real businesses require. Okay, and marketing approach. And I do not want to overflog issue. If you miss anything from this session, I want you to take time. This replay will be made available, I promise you, so you can come back and watch this replay. You can get it, find it live again on this channel, and you can always watch it again and again. I tell you, this is one of the most valuable information any fish farmer can get right now. Okay, if you have fish farmers, send the link to this video to them. They will never regret, and they will thank you. And it's at this point I would want to ask MD, what would your last words be for us in this session? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Taiwan. I appreciate everyone that stayed to the end of this discussion. Actually, it's a long discussion that I know will not be able to finish in just I, I I remembered sometime 2019 I gave a lecture at Ilorin, and I discussed the antics of fishmongers. If you begin to discuss the antics of fishmonger, we need them. They are middlemen, they are market, we need them, but there are ways, the way they do their things, they've taken us, the farmers, as a as a business to exploit, to cheat. Let me put it that way. So I discussed it, which takes more than 3 hours. Just the antics of fishmongers is the title I gave that lecture then. So we hope that something like this will keep coming up. Why the biotechnical aspect of fish farming is as very important, but this one as well is as important as biotechnicals. In fact, if you do your planning, your fish farming business management very well, you can easily dictate what is wrong in your biotechnical aspects. You can easily dictate. You are not guessing. You are not guessing. You know that the plan we have on ground for our feed mill to sustain our growth is not going as we are planning it. So that will give you the opportunity to think again. To summarize, the thing is, you cannot manage what you don't measure. It's not possible. What you don't measure, you can't manage it. I will conclude by corroborating what Mr. Taiwo just said. Keep record. As what do we call them? Sole owners, as in a single farm operator, single man operator, like you are the only one. Get a notebook, or if you can use Excel, just put these prompts on GPT or any AI stores. Create an Excel sheet to keep record of daily feed record. You give you exercise which you can download and start putting your this thing. One, that is for biotechnical record. For managing for your expenses and the likes, get a notebook, divide it into two. I mean, the first 20 page, the last 20 page. The first 20 page, make it an expenses. The last 20 page, make it income. Your 1-ton production system or your 2-ton production system might not need more than that, because you don't want to be paying an accountant, a manager, or administrative manager, a recruiter in your profits of maybe 35-40% ROI from 2 tons. But it's as simple as that. And when your company, when your firm or when your farm is growing to 7 tons, 10 tons, 15, 20 tons per annum, you need people around you, because the information might be too much for you to manage. Thank God we are in digital this thing. There are a lot of tools that will do all these things for you. So you cannot know the feed that works well if you don't keep record. Don't forget, these people are here to make money, the feed makers. They will come to your Vitafeed will come, Blue Crown will come, Aquafeed will come. A lot of them will come to you. In fact, they convince you they confuse you at times. You have been using Blue Crown and Top Feed come with a lesser price. You switch. At the end of the day, but before you switch, you didn't do what we call stock assessment to know how far Blue Crown has worked for you before you switch to. So if at the end of the day you make profits, you don't know which one worked better. If at the end of the day you lose, you don't know the one that gave you the problem. So please try as much as possible to measure your progress, your daily activities, and so you'll be able to manage it well. Thank you very much for having me once again.
Thank you so very much. Can we bring our emojis, our thank you messages? I mean, if I would just summarize all that MD has just said right now in one word or 2 words, I'll say be intentional. As a farmer who is into business, be intentional. And we already have thank you. Yes, farming business is not about luck. Yes, you're right. You got that right, and you can say that again. I just read that from the chat, and I have Mr. Olalekon. Mr. Olalekon is so good to see you. I'm delighted to have you here. Thank you. It's such an honor to have you here. It says thank you, our global MD. Yes, thank you so much, MD. Yeah, let's keep our emojis and our appreciation coming for MD. So MD, I'm seeing a chat here. Someone says we would love to have you here again, sir. we still have more questions. I'm aware that we spend enough time, but okay, if MD, this is a question from the audience. This is a request from the audience that would love to have you here again. Do you want to say something to that, sir?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
It's
fine.
what
It's
um,
um,
can you mute yourself, please? Yeah. So it's fine. It's what we want everyone to succeed. You know, I don't want to go to global statistic about Nigeria aquaculture compared to even Egypt or Ghana. I don't want to start. We produce fish. We are the second largest production of catfish in Africa. I think Egypt is the first in this thing. But then, are we producing it sustainably? So we need to tell people how to do it well. We import more than 50% of fish we are eating in Nigeria. Yeah, meaning that we still have larger market to occupy. Excuse me. We still have a very big market to occupy. You might be hearing it that people are having fish, but they don't sell it. My fish is 3 months due for sales. I don't see people to buy it. It's poor marketing plan. And someone is shouting. I know people that sell almost. In fact, some years back, maybe 10 years back, there is a company called Tritech. No, not Tritech, Zatec in Ibadan. Zatec in Ibadan. Zatec sells Monday and Thursday. And Zatec sells at a day, as in for every day like that, they sell nothing less than 20 tons. Where is it going to? It means that in a week, Zatec will sell 40,000 kilograms of fish. So the point I'm trying to make is always here to give people, to inform people, to interact together with people and solve problem. And I'll be glad to be here again. Thank you very much.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's a very interesting submission. And honestly, to tell you, I feel like this session should not end, but it has to end because we will always have another one. But I really want you to take this, everyone who is watching us right now, and everyone who will be watching this, as long as you are watching this, take everything here as highly invaluable resource. This is not, I mean, even people that get that's paid to get to hear things about fish farming, they are not hearing these kind of things. So you want to run with this, you want to run with it. And by God's grace, we want to grow together. We want to see bigger things. And the picture is beyond individual success. We want to succeed as an industry. We want to succeed as an industry in the nation. We want to have global relevance. We want to have global access. We want to feed our nation and want to have global, we want to feed, do exports too. It's beyond ourselves. What we are trying to do, and all of us together, is beyond self. All right. And I want to really appreciate everyone who took their time to come on this session today. And I want to say very, very, very big to MD Samabiodun Oluwasomi. Thank you. And let me also take this opportunity to thank you for your guidance so far. I so much appreciate and I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much. Love
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you.
See you later.
All right, everyone. Bye.